It's nice that it asks you if you want the meeting recorded now. That's nice. Uh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my South Jersey Journey. I'm Jacob Hackett, your host. My next guest today she was Miss New Jersey, 2019 and 2020. She's here today to tell us about what it was like being Miss New Jersey, the project she's worked on, working with the MAO, the Miss America organization, what she's up to now, and a whole lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss New Jersey 2019 and 2020, Jade Glatt.
Hi, it's so nice to be here, Jacob. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Doing great. Well, I guess I will go ahead and say a little bit about myself. So my name's Jade. I'm from Belmar, New Jersey. And funny fact, there's two Belmars in New Jersey. I didn't realize that until I started competing in the Miss America organization, and a lot of the pageant events ended up being in South Jersey. So there's a Belmar that's spelled Bellmawr, and then there's the Belmar that I live in, which is Belmar, which stands for Beautiful Ocean. I'm a rising senior at Georgetown University, majoring in marketing and minoring in entrepreneurship. And right now I work as a management consulting intern at PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is one of the big four accounting firms. So that's been really fun. That's what I've been doing basically all summer, but all virtual, of course, because we still live in a virtual world. Another thing about me, I sing I sing opera as my talent. I sang 2 Italian arias, one at Miss New Jersey and one at Miss America. They were both so wonderful, both by Puccini. I really loved that. I have a dog named Mango, and yeah, that's a little bit about me.
There you go, folks. It's a little bit about Jade. And if we have time at the end, you may get a little special treat. Jade may sing, depending if there's time at the end, which there probably will be time. Okay, so you told us a little bit about yourself. Tell us. First, I guess I'll start with, and I was just there recently. Tell us, and I'm also friends with you, but currently friends with the current Miss New Jersey, Alyssa Sullivan. Tell us, what was the feeling like when you crowned her?
So one of the crazy things, I mean, it's such an incredible moment whenever any Miss New Jersey gets crowned, whether you're one of the two standing there awaiting your name to be called as the next Miss New Jersey, whether you're in the audience. I've been there before. I was an outstanding teen. I always loved getting to watch the Miss New Jerseys. But crowning Miss New Jersey is a different experience a little bit, because remember, you have a job to do. You have the pins to put on the head. You have the responsibility of making sure that crown doesn't fall off of the next girl's head. And I didn't quite realize that until about 20 minutes after the show, when I was talking to Jamie, who was Miss New Jersey, who crowned me. She was like, well, I'm 5'2", and you and Alyssa was my first runner-up last year, are 5'7". So this is going to be a little bit tough. I have a job to do. So it's really wonderful. It's a great time to be crowning a Miss New Jersey, and I had such a great experience. I loved being able to share that moment with her, but at the same time, I was a little stressed. I was like, this better not fall off. These pins, they better work. I don't want anything bad captured on video. So that was my experience, but I look forward to kind of regaining my seat in the audience with the former Miss New Jerseys next year and being able to watch it a little more stress-free.
I mean, I was there the Saturday night. We're talking 2 weeks ago already. Hard to believe it. And I mean, you know, it's just a surreal feeling, because you could see, you were hosting, which I'll get to in a second. They were all so talented and all so good, and they all did so well, to the point where you're sitting in the back going, who do you want to win? Who do you want to be our next Miss New Jersey representing our state? And And like I said, they were also good, also talented, all with different backgrounds, that it just made it that much more of a exciting experience.
Absolutely. I would say all the girls were really talented. I mean, watching the rehearsals, I got to see all the talents ahead of time because I watched the rehearsals. And I can tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to compete in those talent groups. They were really, really talented women. But what a lot of people don't realize is their stories behind why they're competing, what is the purpose behind it. And that really closely ties in with the social impact initiative. So mine was called Healthy Children, Strong America. I have a huge passion for food equity. I've gone into various neighborhoods in New Jersey where I've just ridden through and seen there's no grocery stores, there's only fast food and convenience stores. And this is a big problem because when that's an environment where a child is surrounded by, then how else are they going to learn about healthy food? So that was my social impact initiative and kind of my why for why I decided to compete in the Miss America organization. I started something called the Wellness on Wheels program, which I partnered with RWJ Barnabas Health, and we completed a 3-part school presentation. So first, we taught kids about urban farming to kind of teach them where food comes from. You know, food doesn't just show up in front of us. Food doesn't come in a box, doesn't come in a package. It comes from the soil. It comes from various sources of growing. But what was cool about this one is that this source of growing was more suited for people who live in urban environments. So it didn't even require soil. It just kind of required water and a UV light. So it's actually more sustainable and can be kind of implemented into areas that don't necessarily have a lot of space to grow food in the soil. That was really cool to me. The second part was a healthy cooking demonstration. So basically we taught people how to make sweet potato fries. We taught them how to make carrot fries. We did oatmeal cookies. We did applesauce cookies instead of adding regular sugar. So that was really cool. And then the third part, because I'm a performer by default, I wrote rap songs about fruits and vegetables to get kids excited about the topic. So that was really the platform that I ran with for Miss America. And that's kind of why these women compete, in addition to exposing who they are and bringing their values, their backgrounds, their cultures to the state of New Jersey.
And as you're telling me this, Jade, it's very interesting to me. But you need something like that, especially in this day and age. And I don't mean to go off topic, but one of our former first ladies, Michelle Obama, she was all about the healthy eating initiative too.
She was one of
And
my
why,
inspirations.
yeah, and why it's so important. And I mean it is because, our schools can only do so much. And that's why they need voices such as yours to come out and say, okay, we need a healthy eating initiative. We need to teach these kids. So that's what happened. And it's very good because I think that's something that's needed now more than ever.
Absolutely.
Um, um, we talked about your experiences this past year. Now, this was something that I was curious about too. Experiences, having the opportunity to spend the time with the contestants over the week leading up to competition. What was that like?
So the experiences leading up to the competition. So basically, we have a group chat every year for Miss New Jersey. For the 2 Miss New Jersey weeks that I've been a part of, we've had an entire group chat full of all the contestants. I think most of the time, the weeks prior to the pageant, it's more so, what do we need to do? What do we need to get for this number? What do we need to learn? What do we need to have prepared for the competition? It's very much so hashtag working through the confusion because competing in pageantry is something that's very unique. It's not something that you hear and gets passed down from your older brother or sister unless they competed, and that's pretty rare. Most of the time, these women haven't competed since they were 5. They actually maybe just start this year. So it's a brand new experience. It's kind of like going to college for the first time and having to rely on the advice of others to get by. So that's the weeks prior. But then spending time with the contestants the weeks we get there, or the week that we get there, it's a lot of fun. I honestly sometimes relate the experience to summer camp, particularly when I was in my first year and this past year as well, because I wasn't competing. I didn't have to be focused. I was giving up the crown no matter what. So it's honestly just so much fun. You bond with the girls, you make a lot of friends. In fact, the girls who went this year for the first time, they actually had a beach day party like a week after the pageant. I was like, ladies, you miss each other already? That's crazy. But it's just such a wonderful experience. I love the summer camp vibe to it. And I just love how everyone gets along. A lot of people, big misconception, pageant girls are mean to each other. That's not true. That's not true, and except in very, very small instances. It doesn't happen any more so than it does happen, say, at high school or say at college. I'd say overall, people are very nice to each other, and people all have the common goal to promote their social impact initiatives.
Yes. Yeah, and you want to help the ones that are newer to the pageant, to give them experiences because they're not up on all of it just yet. If they're a first year contestant, they're like the new kid on the block.
They are. I was that new kid on the block my first year when I competed. I was the youngest one.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that either. Okay, tell us about, we didn't talk about this, and I should have mentioned this in the open, but you hosted with Miss New Jersey 1979, Mary McGinnis Blackburn. Tell, tell us what was that like, because you were really learning, let me say, from a Miss New Jersey. She went through it 40, 42 years ago. What was it like working with Mary for the week?
Yeah, Mary was great. I actually didn't really know her in person very well. I maybe spent about 2 seconds with her when I was crowned Miss New Jersey, but I hadn't really gotten to know her. And that's really one of the greatest things about being Miss New Jersey is you have a sisterhood later on in life. If you ever want to get together, you have something to relate to. And it's awesome because it's intergenerational as well. Another one of the Miss New Jerseys that I got really close to throughout the year was Debbie Manena. Debbie Naily Manena. Naily was her maiden name when she won Miss New Jersey. She was Miss New Jersey in 1981. And there would truthfully be no other reason for me to connect with a woman in that generation as a sister, aside from being Miss New Jersey. So the sisterhood is just so great. And the same thing can be said for Mary McGinnis Blackburn. We had a great time at the podium. We really just rocked the show. I think there were a lot of times, sometimes you never know what's going to happen with the show. Someone could be running late, someone's costume could break, and you have to just kind of fill the time. And so every time I would see Mary maybe not having anything to talk about, I would just be backstage ready to go. I'd run up on the stage and say hi to my mom and dad in the front row, or maybe just shout something out to the crowd, talk about how the organization's impacted me, how that differs with how it impacted her. And it was just a great old time. And we got a selfie too. So that was fun.
Oh, that's cool, getting selfies with the hosts and a few of the others. That's neat. Moving on, we talked about your experiences as Miss New Jersey. Moving on, the competition experience, state. Well, we talked about state, but let's talk about Miss America.
Yeah, Miss America was a fantastic experience. I had the opportunity to obviously meet all of the state candidates and the candidate from the District of Columbia. When we went to Miss America in December in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, one of my favorite parts, I have to say, it was the food. There was a huge buffet. We went every single day, 3 times a day. And so I just ate my little heart out. Thankfully, there wasn't any swimsuit. But then aside from that, I really just enjoyed being able to spend time with everyone. We all were able to share that experience. And even in the midst of a lot of organizational changes, we were still able to have a great time. My roommate was Marilyn. She became one of my best friends. I also maintained friendships with, truthfully, I'd say most of the girls on the East Coast I ended up being super close with. And that worked really well because now we can just kind of go state hopping. I can go see Carolyn in Maine. I can see Lindsay in Massachusetts, Molly in Rhode Island, Jill in Connecticut, Lauren in New York, me, Hillary, and then all the way down the eastern coast.
Well, 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 that's got to be another interesting thing, is because you're connecting with people as you said, and I'm going to draw it out too, from the top of the East Coast, and you work your way
New Jersey,
down, and then all the way down through
Virginia.
like the yeah, that's it's neat, and you develop a sisterhood and everything else, and what it's like, and I mean, being on that Miss America stage, that has to be like a dream come true when you start as a pageant, as you compete for your state titles.
Oh, for sure. It's something you see on TV and you're like, I'm never going to get here. But then when you do, it's like a dream come true and it's completely surreal.
Like like Jade, I have had several discussions with people, not just in the Miss America organizations, but everyday people, that Miss America is 100 years old. I'm I'm sorry, but I think that the competition should be back in Atlantic City at its home base.
I agree. I really wish it was. As much as I liked Mohegan Sun and it was a really great venue, and I'm grateful for them having hosted us, it would have been nice to be the hometown girl because the hometown girl is treated like Miss America.
Yeah, and when Mary was going through the timeline, essentially, that last night, it's like, and then I'm sitting in the audience thinking to myself, this should be back here. The whole timeline, she's talking about Atlantic City and bird parks and the different things. And I'm like, this should be back here. This shouldn't be in another state. Miss America's home is Atlantic City at Boardwalk Hall.
I agree.
So, two main components of Miss America. We talked about social impact initiative. Let's talk a little more. I mean, we touched on it briefly, your talent. So I know your talent was opera, but could, like, did you, when you thought about your talent, did you automatically know I want to do opera, or did you have to think about it first?
I didn't have to think about it for a second because I had actually been going to school for it at the time. I was in a high school that allowed me to pursue opera, which is very unique because not all high schools have that sort of major requirement. I was a voice major, and while I was in school, I learned to sing in English, Italian, German, and French. So I got a lot of classical training and figured, why not put this to use? Because what's really great about the Miss America organization is it gives you a stage that you're allowed to perform pieces that you probably wouldn't be able to perform or even have the opportunity to perform outside of pageantry or outside of maybe a recital that's very limited with a limited audience. I got to perform on the Miss America stage and share my opera with, I mean, the states, the country, the world. So that was a really great opportunity. And I sang 2 songs by Puccini. O mio babino caro was the one that I went. to Miss New Jersey with, and I ended up winning the preliminary talent award. And at Miss America, I sang Un bel di vedremo, and also by Puccini, I won the non-finalist talent award.
Yes, which I have that here, and I mean, that's just amazing that you're able to bring talent, that much talent to a national stage, and then come back and win it all. Win not win it all, but win the preliminary on stage interview award and the non-finalist talent award.
Thank you. Yeah, it was honestly like I wasn't expecting it. You go in and you expect everyone to be talented. So you never expect to win these talent awards. So when your name gets called, you just think, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's me. And I'm so honored to be the representation of talent in both New Jersey and America.
Right, like it must be complete like shock almost, because you're just thankful to, like you said, you're just thankful to be there among everybody, with everybody else. So moving on, and you told me briefly about this when we had our pre-planning meeting last week. You are competing again, but this time as Miss District of Columbia 2021. Local. Tell the viewers about your local title if you win.
Yeah, so it's actually flip-flopped. So I have the local title now. The local title is Miss Georgetown 2021. Since I go to school at Georgetown University, I figured that would be the best local title to have so I can represent not only my school, but also the surrounding community. We're very tight-knit. A lot of times people call us the Georgetown bubble. So I feel like I've been in every single one of those local businesses down in DC, in Georgetown. And so I've definitely wanted to be a representation there. And then if I win, I go on to compete. If I win Miss DC USA 2021, then I go on to compete for Miss USA. And then if I win Miss USA, I go on to compete for Miss Universe. So it's a little bit different than the Miss America organization. It doesn't stop at nationals, but I'm super excited for the experience. I think there's going to be a lot of new topics that I can advocate for, particularly because this past year has proved very difficult for the Asian American community. I'm part of the Asian American community. My mom is Chinese. She actually immigrated to this country and worked in a family cleaners to make ends meet and really sacrificed so much so that I could be here living the American dream, living her American dream and living mine as well. And my dad, he's been here for a little while, so have his ancestors. So it's kind of nice to kind of see that combination in me as someone who's proudly Asian American and someone who greatly identifies in her culture. So I want to represent the Asian American community and bring them opportunities and just more visibility throughout this difficult time as the first Asian American Miss District of Columbia, USA. That would mean the world to me. And to be able to bring that to the Miss USA stage. I have to get used to that now. To be able to bring that to the Miss USA stage, that's something that I really look forward to doing. In addition, I look forward to advocating for other causes. I'm an ambassador for Flair, which is the bracelet that can save your life at just the push of a button. If you're ever in an uncomfortable situation, get out of it. And then the other thing is just maybe continuing to talk about my music. I mean, this is still a wonderful platform to be able to talk about how I'm a musician, a great platform to perform. I know there's a lot of events. As a former title holder, I know there's a lot of events that require a national anthem singer or require an entertainer. So being able to continue that's also a lot of fun.
Yes, and you want to bring more, you want to show more, like you said, you want to provide more for the Asian American community, which is all wonderful because we need someone such as yourself to say, I want to do more for my community. It's time to show more. It's time to do more. So it's all great. So here, I told you in the beginning I had a question, and here's what I did not understand about Miss USA. Um, okay, so this Miss New Jersey, for example, she goes to compete for Miss America.
Yes.
Then does she get to compete for Miss USA?
No. So Miss America, here's the, I'm going to try to do a tree diagram here. So you have your local titles. Here are your local titles. This hand is Miss America. This hand is Miss USA. Your local titles. Then you have a state winner. New Jersey, District of Columbia, blah, 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 blah. Then you have your national winner, America, USA. Then you have universe. They have another level. So there's 4 levels of title you can win in the universe system, and then there's 3 in the America system.
Oh, okay. So I know
description.
I know about the Miss America and the Miss USA. There's Jay, there's too many competitions. I can't keep up.
And that's not even it. There are so many other competitions. There's Miss United States, there's Miss Collegiate, Miss World. I can't even keep up either. I just know that the 2 that are televised are Miss America and Miss USA. So if I go to Miss USA and I'm lucky enough to be selected as their winner, I think I may be done at that point, because I'll need to make a move with my life and be like, Jade, you've been competing too long. You need to just do something else. Start something new, start a hobby, start knitting. You're getting old.
Yeah, trying to start something new. The talk the AAPI, which we touched on, the effect on increases in violence, what you want to do in the future. Okay, the ambassadorship. Now, I want to watch you as Miss DC. Give people the rundown of how can they watch you? How can I watch you when it's time to compete for Miss DC?
Well, we're still getting information about that. Due to COVID, a lot of things have been delayed in terms of logistics, but right now they have just dropped ticket sales. So ticket sales, you can go on to Nice Wonderful Productions. I can put the link in my bio on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, it is, I don't know if it's going to pop up if I drop it in the chat, but I'm going to try. So at Jade Lynn Glab. If you follow me on Instagram, I will be able to provide the links to ticket sales, the stream once it becomes available, and People's Choice, which you can now vote for me for People's Choice. It's $1 a vote, and every vote is $1 for the Special Olympics. 100% of the money goes there. So if anyone wants to vote for me for People's Choice, the link will be in my bio on Instagram. That's Jade Lynn Glab. I can spell it out. JADELINGLAB.
Yes, and I will post the link is in will be in comments. If you would like to follow Jade on Instagram, if you need any information, Jade is on social media. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. If you would like to connect with her, that is how you do it. I will be supporting you, Jade. I will watch you. I will cheer for you, just like I did for Miss New Jersey. And I hope you are Miss DC in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Yes. Um, and now, ladies and gentlemen, normally I have a special treat for you performing a piece of what she did from Miss New Jersey, and it's my pleasure to introduce Miss New Jersey 2019 2020, now competing for Miss DC Georgetown 2021, Jade.
Thank you. Oh, am I singing?
Yes, sorry, she's singing.
What
Sorry.
song do you want me to sing?
Oh, do what you did you sing the night of did you sing the last night at Miss New Jersey? I think you did.
I did, but I'd rather sing one of my two songs from Miss America. So let's see what I have all three here. So
Sing whatever you want. I don't care what you sing.
I will sing Belle D.
Bravo, Jane.
Well, I wasn't warned that I'd be singing.
I'm sorry. I should have warned you. That was. I should have warned you. My bad. But that was beautiful. Thank you. In close, before we close this out, would you like to promote anything? Talk about anything again, like uh, your social impact initiative? Just you have the floor before we close.
Sure. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on the show. This is really exciting to be able to kind of get back into interviewing. Haven't done one of these in a while, especially since COVID, because it's taken a lot of appearances away from being Miss New Jersey. So it's nice to be able to get back in and start doing these kinds of things. I guess the one thing is just really to remember the importance. I've shifted my social impact a little bit. So yes, while healthy eating and advocacy for the food deserts in the United States is still a huge part of who I am. What's really nice is that in all of my years of competing in pageantry and all the different experiences that I've had, I've been able to pick up social impact initiatives on the way. So continuing to advocate for the Asian American community, food deserts in the United States, my education and encouraging others to pursue higher education. Miss America organization is a scholarship organization, and they paid for a huge chunk of my Georgetown education, which I'm forever grateful for. Advocating for Flair, which is the bracelet that basically allows you to get out of bad situations when you're in them, helping assault and harassment victims, and also just promoting the joy of music. That's who I am, and I'm so grateful to have had that experience through pageantry.
Yes, and it's wonderful to hear. When you were mentioning Miss New Jersey, one last question. I should have put this at the top, but oh well, my bad. Any celebrities. Did you work with anyone famous that stood out during your time as Miss New Jersey? Any favorite events?
Favorite events. Well, Konstantin Maroulis, he was a judge this year at Miss New Jersey. We met at an appearance. It was in Jersey City, I believe. It was basically an appearance where we had to judge holiday trees. We looked at all of the different trees and the designs. And what was really cool about these trees is that each class within a school got their own tree, and they got to choose they got to choose a cause to advocate for, using different ornaments and decorations on the trees. So I really liked the environmental advocacy one, but I think there was another tree that beat it out. I think Constantine and I were kind of going head to head on this one, but it was okay. We ended up, all the trees were really great. And just the opportunity to get to meet all of those kids and have them start to think about causes they want to advocate for in the future is what it's all about.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're bringing more to the youth, that's just wonderful, because I've mentioned it several times on the show that our youth are really the our youth is the future. You know what they want to bring to the table. What do they see for the future?
Exactly.
And yes, and once again, friends, that she is Miss New Jersey 1920, and I must say, Jay, it must have been very, I want to say, rewarding competing 2 years, because uh, I looked in the Miss New Jersey, previous Miss New Jerseys, and I want to say you were the only one that got to compete for 2 years.
Yes. Not compete for 2 years, but hold the title for 2 years.
Sorry, compete was the wrong word. But travel around New Jersey and be and bring your social impact and everything. So that just must have been a very rewarding experience. And yes, Constantine was I never met him. I have not met him in person, but I hope to. And he just seemed very down to earth. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I thank Miss Jade Glab for joining us today. And before I let you go one more time, you can follow Jade on Instagram at Jade, JADELINGLAB. She is on Facebook. You can follow the Miss New Jersey organization, the Miss America organization. If you want any more information, I will post the links in chat. Thank you, Jade, so much for joining me today.
Have a good one.
You too.